Good evening and welcome to Newshour. Coming up in this edition, Ministry of Health launches 2026 Demographic and Health Survey Training Program. 250,000 children in 5 districts to benefit from homegrown school feeding program. And Independent Media Commission delivers its first public broadcast ruling. All these stories are more lined up in this edition of Newshour. Stay with us for the next hour. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamara. First, the news are tonight. The Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation has called on telecommunications operators to improve on their services and ensure that citizens enjoy the value of their money. Salim Abba made the call during the National Telecommunications Authority's 20th anniversary in Freetown. Sulaiman Babature has more.
Sierra Leone's journey to a sustainable and effective telecommunications service has been a struggling one over the years, but through the encouragement of innovation and the introduction of new players and services, according to speakers, more options became available to consumers, strengthening access to communication services nationwide. This progress, they said, has helped improve how citizens connect, do business, and engage with services that depend on reliable telecommunications. The 20th anniversary of Sierra Leone's National Communications Authority, NATCA, was celebrated, highlighting its role in fostering investment, competition, consumer protection, and digital transformation, thereby connecting people, empowering businesses, and contributing to the country's socio-economic development. Speaking on the challenges of balancing investment, government needs, and consumer demands, the Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, Salim Abba, called for improved connectivity and quality service in the years to come.
Currently, population coverage is at 90%, but usage is still at 42%. What does that mean? That means that even though network access has expanded to over 97 or 90% of the population, only 42% of the population are actually using the internet. And this is what we need to change over the next 20 years.
While commending the players involved for the authority's achievement over the years, NATCA's Director General, Amara Biwa, pledged to reinforce the belief that effective regulation and support for the sector are essential for sustainable progress in telecommunications. He highlighted their achievements over the years.
Today, the sector comprises 4 mobile networks operators, 1 mobile virtual operator, 32 internet service providers, 21 licensed television stations, 222 FM stations, 3 open access infrastructure operators. Cellular population coverage has reached 97.4%. Mobile voice subscriptions stand at 8.66 million, while mobile data subscriptions have reached 3.78 million.
The speakers from Africell, Orange, QCell and Seratel, among others, emphasized the importance of collaboration to match up to the world's advancing digital innovation, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, AI, and universal connectivity. They pledged to improving service delivery across the country. The theme for the celebration is 20 years of consumer-focused connectivity. SLBC News, Staman Babatue reporting.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources has concluded its fish distribution exercise, delivering fresh fish donated by Ocean Fresh to schools, hospitals, and vulnerable groups. Stella Bangura went along and now reports.
A warm meal can be the first step towards healing. For hundreds of patients, children and vulnerable people across Freetown, that meal has become more nutritious following the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources completion of a fish distribution exercise. The initiative, supported by Ocean Fresh Fishing Company, forms part of its corporate social responsibility and aligns with President Julius Maadabu's Feed Salon and Human Capital Development agenda. For many patients recovering in hospital beds, every meal counts. Fish, rich in protein and essential nutrients, is now expected to improve the quality of meals served at several health facilities and care centers. Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Princess Duba, said the donation demonstrates government's commitment towards improving the welfare of Sierra Leoneans.
Our president's not talking. We talk about the human capital development, not to book learning no more. You know, say if you go self school, you know, get something like that, you know, they able for concentrate. So it thought and fit say it also able for give people them food, or let them go able for develop their brain. And one of the good food the way they develop the brain are fish.
The final phase of the exercise took the ministry to Rokupa Hospital, the relocated Persons with Disabilities Center at Bremer Lane, Don Bosco Fambul, the 34 Military Hospital, and the King Haman Maternal and Child Health Hospital. Director of Fisheries, Sheikh Hussein, said that the exercise spearheaded by the minister will be taken to the provinces as the focus is to ensure that the needs of citizens are met.
We are going to extend it to the provinces. In fact, we are targeting boarding home schools. In Freetown, we'll be supporting the schools that have boarding homes. For example, Girls High School, FSSG, will have been there now, but they are on holidays. We're going to also go to the provinces to support hospitals and schools, and also vulnerable groups.
Beneficiaries also welcomed the gesture, describing it as timely and a clear demonstration that government initiatives are reaching those who need them most.
We appreciate the fish so much because when this is a fish business, stronger.
Management of the beneficiary institutions commended President Bio's vision under the Human Capital Development and Feed Salon initiatives, saying the support will go a long way in augmenting the nutritional needs of patients, children, and vulnerable persons in their care. As the exercise ends, the smile on the faces of beneficiaries was a reminder that beyond policies and programs, the greatest impact is shown in action. Reporting for SLBC, Stella Bangura.
Partners supporting the government flagship Feed Salon program have officially launched the 2026-2027 edition. The program has already secured 20,000 bags of locally produced rice and is expected to provide daily meals for more than 250,000 school children across 5 districts. Development partners also renewed their commitment to strengthen farmers' capacity, improving livelihoods, and building a more resilient agricultural sector in Sierra Leone. Cynthia Kamal witnessed the opening day at WFP stores, Kisido Kyod.
The opening of the 2026-2027 homegrown school feeding year signifies what can be achieved when all hands are on deck in addressing a national priority. These bags of rice represent the beginning of that journey for the coming school year. The school feeding program goes beyond fighting hunger among children in the rural areas to creating an inclusive atmosphere that encourages and sustains children in school. UN Resident Coordinator Sarafin Wakanda confirmed a school meal does not just support a child's education and nutrition, but as well support farmers, rural livelihoods, local businesses, and the wider economy.
The value of the United Nations is not simply in what each agency does individually. It's in how we combine our expertise to support stronger and more sustainable national systems. And homegrown school feeding provides a practical platform for that collaboration.
The official opening of the 2026-2027 school feeding year was described by the WFP representative as evidence of food system that work deliberately for Sierra Leonean farmers, communities, and children. WFP, however, does not see school feeding as an isolated activity, but rather protection and local economic development.
For a child, a school meal can improve concentration, attendance, and participation in learning. For a family, it can reduce the daily cost of sending children to school. For a farmer, regular demand can provide the confidence to invest in production, improve quality, and plan for the next season.
With nearly 1 in 5 people experiencing hunger in Africa, while food insecurity continues to affect millions, the FAO representative, Said A. Bansi, confirmed that food insecurity and malnutrition remains a significant challenge in Sierra Leone, especially among rural households that depends on agriculture for their livelihood. Initiatives as such, the homegrown school feeding helps address both challenges by creating demands for local production while supporting improved nutrition for school children. With a target of 250,000 kilograms, 1,000 has already been secured, approximately 20,000 bags of rice. This will target 250,000 children across 5 districts. Well, this goes beyond education and nutrition to showcasing the resilience of Sierra Leone farmers and the need to invest in agriculture. The homegrown school feeding reminds us that development must be inclusive, while the participation of the partners reveals a coordinated response to national priority that focuses on lasting impact. Each of the partners also used the platform to reiterate their lasting commitment to agricultural production, farmers' capacity, and resilient livelihoods. For SABC News, Cynthia Kamara reporting.
The Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Musa Pakar, has applauded agencies of the Feed Salon program for their continued effort. The minister was speaking at the opening of the 2026-2027 homegrown school feeding year. 9 ministries, including the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, also stressed the significance of the school feeding program and its lasting impact on children. Cynthia Kamara again.
With a target of 250 kilograms, 1,000 kilograms has already been secured by the Ministry of Agriculture and its dedicated partners, which accumulated to approximately 20,000 bags of rice. The opening of the 2026-2027 homegrown school feeding year signifies the commitment of government and partners in not just providing food and nutrition for children, but sustaining children in school.
The other thing this program makes me very happy about always is I get a question. Where the rest? You speak nicely. Where is the rice? That's all we want to see. I have a very simple answer today. There's the rice. From Salon Farmer then to Salon School begin there. Across 5 districts, 250,000 children. That's the answer. That's very simple, I know, but people want that. And we're doing more than that. But really, that's why we do this.
Minister of State Martin Tarawali expressed a sincere appreciation to WFP and other development partners for their unwavering support to Sierra Leone's effort to ensure that every child has access to safe nutrition and locally produced meals at schools.
What makes this program even more impactful is its homegrown approach. By producing food from our local farms, we are creating a laudable cycle where agriculture, nutrition, education, and economic development reinforce one another. When local farmers produce quality rice, vegetables, fruits, and other nutritious foods for our schools, they gain reliable markets and improved income.
Learning, according to the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, requires more than willingness. It requires nutrition and dignity. Each of the bags, he said, represent a farmer who made the choice to plant, harvest, and feed the nation's children.
A child goes from worrying about hunger to focusing on learning. A farmer goes from uncertainty to purpose. A community goes from fragmentation to connection. As we say, what you give a child gives the world. We are not just feeding pupils today. We are building the doctors, the teachers, the leaders, and the innovators that Sierra Leone will need tomorrow.
Lead farmer from Cambia District, Aissata Kaikai Sise, encouraged farmers to be resilient like never before. She called on women to embark on agriculture to improve the economy of Sierra Leone. However, the cooperation of agriculture and education is essential to the success of the program. For SLBC Newshour, Cynthia Kamara reporting.
Statistics Sierra Leone has officially launched the 2026 Sierra Leone Demographic Health Survey training. The nationwide exercise is aimed at providing critical information to support national development, planning, and improve healthcare delivery. Nyalima Mosiri witnessed the event and our reports.
The 2026 Sierra Leone Demographic and Health Survey is a comprehensive nationwide initiative designed to collect high-quality data on health, population, nutrition, and other key health and demographic indicators. The survey serves as a cornerstone for evidence-based policy making, providing statistical foundation necessary to improve the well-being of all Sierra Leoneans. During the launch, officials from Statistics Sierra Leone emphasized that the survey was one of the country's most important statistical exercises, providing reliable and up-to-date information that would guide government policies, strengthen healthcare services, and support evidence-based national planning and decision-making.
We are laying the foundation for stronger health systems, better resource allocation, and ultimately, healthier communities. Let this launch be a reminder that data is not just numbers, it is the story of our people. And it is our responsibility to tell that story with integrity and precision.
Officials noted the significant progress that has been made to accelerate the implementation process, stating about 188 trainees in their midst that are going to be in the workshop for at least 28 days. They also said they have successfully conducted a questionnaire review adaptation workshop to refine the tools and incorporated a blood pressure measurement module for the first time in the history of the Demographic Health Survey in Sierra Leone. The Demographic Health Survey was officially launched by the Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Demby, who called on trainees participating in the 2026 DHS to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, accuracy, and integrity during data collection, stressing that reliable information is essential for effective national planning.
With the people of Sierra Leone, I want to say at this point in time, I want to officially launch the training for the 2026 Demographic Health Survey.
Data collection is expected to take place across all districts, with final results providing a comprehensive picture of the country's health and demographic situation and informing future interventions in the health sector and beyond. Statistics Sierra Leone also acknowledged the continued support of its development partners in implementing the survey, stressing that the findings will serve as an essential resource for policymakers, researchers, development agencies, and other stakeholders working to improve the well-being of Sierra Leoneans. Reporting for SLBC, Nyalima Mosie.
The Independent Media Commission has delivered its first public broadcast ruling since its establishment, finding in breach of media regulations over the publication of unverified allegations against Dr. Sylvia Olainka-Blyden. The ruling was among 7 decisions announced during a press conference organized by the Commission, with the other matters involving Salon Compass newspaper, Heritage newspaper, New Number newspaper, City Hunter newspaper, Night Watch newspaper, and Exclusive newspaper. Alimami Conte gives us highlights of the rulings on the Liberty TV Online.
The Independent Media Commission has ruled that Liberty TV Online failed to meet the required standards of accuracy and verification under the Independent Media Commission Print and Electronic Media Regulations of 2022. The Commission found that the broadcaster had serious factual allegations against Dr. Sylvia Olainka-Blyden without taking reasonable steps to verify them.
The Commission finds that A, the respondent broadcast without any reasonable steps to verify it a claim that the complainant went to Madam Zainab Sharif's residence. B, the respondent broadcast without any reasonable steps to verify it a claim that the complainant attempted to record Madam Zainab Sharif's minor ward at that residence. C, no finding is made as to whether these claims were in fact true or false. That question was never tried on its merits, and the respondent's guest is not a party to these proceedings.
The Commission said the issue before it was not whether the allegations made by a guest were true or false, but whether Liberty TV, as a licensed broadcaster, fulfilled its responsibility to verify information before publication. The Commission also found that Liberty TV independently breached the regulations by publishing a news summary accusing Dr. Olainka-Blyden of showing some level of dishonesty without seeking a response and without sufficient evidence to support that characterization. The broadcaster's argument that it had offered the complainant a right of reply was rejected. The Commission ruled that a right of reply does not replace the obligation to retract information where a retraction has been demanded. The Commission also dismissed Liberty TV's reliance on an on-screen disclaimer stating that broadcasters remain responsible for content aired on their platforms. However, the Commission found insufficient evidence to support allegations of a coordinated smear campaign or abusive content, and those aspects of the complaint were dismissed.
For these reasons, the Commission orders that Liberty TV Online shall, within 7 days of receipt of this ruling, 1. Publish a clarification on the same platform with the same prominence as the original publication, stating that the respondent was unable to substantiate the claims that the complainant entered Madam Zainab Sharif's residence or attempted to record a minor there, that those claims should not have been broadcast without verification and that they are withdrawn. 2. To publish an unqualified retraction of the news summary imputing dishonesty to the complainant on the same platform and with the same prominence as the original publication.
No fines or costs were imposed, as the Commission noted that this was Liberty TV's first appearance before it on a complaint of this nature. The broadcaster was, however, cautioned about its future conduct. The Commission's ruling on Liberty TV was one of 7 decisions delivered during the press conference, marking a significant step in publicly communicating media accountability decisions in Sierra Leone. For SLBC News, Alimami Conte reporting.
The Initiative for Capacity Building and Advanced International, ICBAI, has officially launched the 10th National Spelling Bee in Sierra Leone alongside an orientation program for participating pupils. The event held at the Mathematics Center on Adelaide Street in Freetown aims to prepare the contestants for the national competition whilst promoting literacy, confidence, and academic excellence among school children. Our reporter, Olwin Roy Fox, reports.
The official launch of the 10th National Spelling Bee, organized by the Initiative for Capacity Building and Advance International, brought together pupils, parents, and education stakeholders with the theme Nurturing Dreams, Excellence and Success. The event also featured an orientation session designed to familiarize participating pupils with the competition's rules, expectations, and spelling techniques ahead of the national contest. CEO and founder Ikbai Sierra Leone, Aissata Musuhadin, described the National Spelling Bee as an important educational initiative that nurtures excellence in literacy, builds confidence in young learners, and encourages healthy academic competition among pupils across Sierra Leone.
Ikbai, or Initiative in Capacity Building Association International, is result-oriented organization. We always cater for the betterment of our kids or our children or pupils or students. For us to achieve quality and sustainable education in Sierra Leone.
She also emphasized that the program continues to provide pupils with opportunities to improve their vocabulary, communication skills, and critical thinking, while inspiring a culture of reading and learning. The 10th National Spelling Bee is expected to bring together pupils from schools across the country as they compete for top honors in one of Sierra Leone's leading academic competitions. For SLBC News, Alwyn Ray Fox reporting.
Following the heavy downpour on Monday, 3rd August, some residents at Femi Turner Goderich community suffered tragedy as a fence collapsed and 2 vehicles were washed away. Although no lives were lost, it's a call for authorities concerned to act swiftly to save lives. Suleiman Dumbuya visited the scene and now reports.
What started as a normal rainy night on Monday, August 3rd, turned into a nightmare for residents of Femitona in Goderich community. Heavy flood waters swept through the compound, washing away 2 vehicles, destroying perimeters, fences, and damaging homes and other properties. Residents woke up to the mud, debris, and broken belongings scattered across the compound. Many families were left counting their losses. Al-Hazi Al-Hassan Ba, an affected resident, described the destruction caused by the flooding. A security guard, Osman Kabo, said he was lucky to have survived the unfortunate incident.
My vehicle and another person's vehicle were washed away, and so many other properties were destroyed. But we thank God because no life was lost.
At the masjid and then feeling like sleeping.
If anybody would have died in it, would have been me, because I was in the masjid and I moved from the masjid and sat on the chair for a while, and I went into sleep. While sleeping, I heard people shouting. That was how I knew something had happened.
Although no lives were lost, the emotional and financial toll has been immense. Residents are appealing for urgent intervention. Amid their call, many believe building on waterways put the lives of residents in danger during the rainy season.
Meanwhile, a section of the perimeter fence at the 34 Military Hospital, Wilberforce, collapsed on the main road following heavy rainfall in the early hours of Monday. Aminata Saisi filed in this report.
The incident, which occurred around 1 a.m., led to a partial obstruction of traffic along the busy route at Wilberforce. Despite the impact, no major casualties or injuries were reported. Between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., authorities had managed to clear part of the debris and reopen one way to ensure the gradual movement of vehicles and reduce congestion in the area. Residents living nearby described the incident as alarming but expressed relief that no lives were lost. Ibrahim Jallo, a resident, said the heavy downpour throughout the night may have weakened the structure, leading to a sudden collapse.
Another resident, Abubakar Jr., noted that the obstruction initially caused delays for commuters heading to work, but commended the swift response that helped restore partial traffic movement. The incident highlights concerns about structural integrity during the peak of the rainy season. SLBC News in Freetown, Yusuf Mosire Suma.
You're watching Newshour coming to you live on SLBC Television in Freetown. We continue with more stories. Senior executives of the Access Bank Sierra Leone and Bloom Bank Africa Sierra Leone have paid a joint courtesy call on President Julius Maada Bio at State House. The bank executives briefed the president on their operations and reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Sierra Leone's economic growth, financial inclusion, and private sector development. They also pledged to expand digital banking, strengthen support for small businesses, and improve access to finance across the country. We'll bring you highlights of the visit.
The Access Bank is one of the largest banks in the continent. From a balance sheet perspective, we're number 10th largest bank in Africa. The banks larger than us are not sub-Saharan banks. They are Moroccan, Egyptian, and for different reasons. Stable currency, support from the Gulf states that they get has meant that they are growing faster than most African entities are growing. But that's not an excuse anymore. We're today Africa's largest bank by customer base. But beyond that, Excellency, our presence across Africa has shown us one thing. The African markets and governments need to work more closely together. You'll find that there are parts of Africa where there's excess capital looking for a home. But that capital doesn't come into the continent. The capital ends up in Standard Chartered in London, JP Morgan in New York, Citibank in New York, because governments are keeping their foreign reserves in global markets. Whilst in the continent, we're looking for that capital to grow. So part of the mandate we have from our group board is that managing all of those enterprises, how can we catalyze that capital to work for the continent?
One very important thing I think to bring, it's almost as if, we knew your 5-point agenda, because our institution has actually been built around a lot of those things that you're championing. And that's why we think we should pay this courtesy call to you to also let you know how we are supporting and how we intend to continue to support. So apart from the banking franchise that we have in those 4 countries, we also have a business that facilitates trade across Africa. We are very particular about SME development and export capacity development. In addition, as the Finance Minister has mentioned, we also help countries to attract capital for infrastructure and development, as well as even liquidity for central banks through various types of swaps and instruments like that. More importantly, what we do for the SMEs, we have an entity we call AfriCelerate. It's an accelerator company that trains and gives capacity building to SMEs and actually arranges financing for them.
We may not be able to tick all the boxes when it comes to rigid financial considerations, but we have quite a lot which, if properly considered, could qualify us, our enterprises, to be able. That is where we are, a difficult world where overseas development assistance is no longer there, but we have to. A very young population, ambitious, creative, and we have to also grow the economy to be able to take the demographic expansion that has taken place on our continent. we normally boast of the youngest population, per continent in the world. But that is, for me, a worrying scenario developing. To have young people and not to have jobs for them, with the education we are giving them and which we are committed to improving on the quality, means that they could very well be our undoing. So to be able to provide them with jobs, to be able to educate them consistently as we want to do quality education, all of this requires an economy that is vibrant, an economy that is expanding at a rate that we capture all of that labor. Of course, the biggest hurdle is always the requisite capital to engage. And agriculture can be quite capital intensive. I can bear witness to that. So I've always been grumbling about how the banking sector in Sierra Leone in particular has been restricted to just traditional or just treasury bill things. And we want to unlock the potential in the private sector, especially for the youth and women. And we boast about the youthfulness of our continent, having mostly 60 to 70% being young people, but we need to give them the wherewithal to be to actively take part in the global economy, not just through the education, but also the startup.
Mercury International has handed over a fully furnished two-bedroom bungalow worth $81,000 to Abu Fomba, a businessman from Kenema, who emerged as the grand prize winner of the company's nationwide Yusuf Kim Play and Win a New House promotion. The house, located at Taf Salon Micro City in John Obey, was officially presented to the winner during a ceremony attended by company officials, family members, and the media. Alimami Conte reports.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and on behalf of the management and the staff and the retailers and the customers and on behalf of everybody we wish this man well, I hereby cut the ribbon to this house.
Mercury International has officially handed over the keys to a two-bedroom bungalow worth $81,000 to Abu Fomba, a businessman from Kenema, after he emerged as the grand prize winner of the company's Yusuf Can Play and Win a New House promotion. The presentation ceremony took place at Taf Salon Micro City in John Obey, where company officials, well-wishers, and the media gathered to witness the official transfer of the property to the winner. The promotion, which started on April 1st, 2026, ended on July 20th, with the final draw conducted on July 21st, 2026, shortly after the FIFA World Cup final. Thousands of customers participated in the promotion, with sports bettors and casino players given opportunities to earn raffle tickets through their activities on Mercury International's platform. The lucky draw eventually selected Abu Fomba as the winner of the two-bedroom bungalow. Speaking after receiving the keys to his new home, Fomba described the moment as a dream come true and that he never imagined owning a house in Freetown, adding that Mercury International had given him hope and turned that hope into a reality.
For me, na serious hot sun in the camera. Hot sun in the camera. So glad and at the time for tell me brothers, they say Mercury is real. The more you play, the more you get chances. The game is real. And when you don't win, for say that they delay for pay you now, the instant you win, the instant you withdraw, you get your money.
Meanwhile, Mercury International's manager Martin Michael said the handover demonstrates the company's commitment to rewarding its customers and ensuring that promotions are conducted in a transparent manner.
When you play, when you win, you guarantee forget your winnings. Everybody knows that. No go come today, no go come tomorrow. When you win, we pay you immediately. Secondly, we no go come gather all them people and then can't do something like this if you're not genuine. First of all, TAF not going to allow you inside if you're not genuine. For that, I enter the compound just now. Now the security, they asked me 1,000,001 questions. So they know all the people there for enter, if not too real.
He also disclosed plans for promotions later this year, including one targeting sports bettors and another for casino players, with details expected to be announced soon. For SLBC News, Alimami Conte reporting.
No, say that we buy this house for the winner. Key work. And look, it is not the open, not to fake work. Now real house. Congratulations, Mr. Winner. Enter your house.
China has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening military cooperation with Sierra Leone as it celebrated the 99th anniversary of the founding of the Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, and the 55th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries. The commitment was made during a reception at the Chinese Embassy in Freetown. Emmanuel Samora reports.
Founded on August 1, 1927, the People's Liberation Army has grown into one of the world's largest armed forces, contributing to national defense, United Nations peacekeeping, humanitarian assistance, and international security. Marking the occasion, Chinese Defense Attaché Senior Colonel Pauline said the PLA remains committed to safeguarding peace while deepening defense cooperation with Sierra Leone. He highlighted continued military training, medical support, and infrastructure assistance for the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces.
China formally commits to a defensive national defense policy and will continue to follow the path of peaceful development. The Chinese military is a steadfast force for the safeguarding world peace. It actively practice the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind.
Chinese Ambassador Zhao Yong described the event as a celebration of two milestones, the PLA's 99th anniversary and 55th years of diplomatic relations between China and Sierra Leone. He expressed confidence that the long-standing friendship and cooperation between the two countries would continue to grow. Chief of General Staff of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, Major General Sir David Gauja, praised China's long-standing support, particularly in military training, humanitarian assistance, and healthcare cooperation, saying the partnership has strengthened the operational capacity of the RSLAF.
The People's Liberation Army has consistently stood by Sierra Leone, offering support in diverse areas that have strengthened our institution and enhanced our national resilience, such as human capacity development. One of the most enduring pillars of cooperation between the People's Liberation Army and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces has been in this area.
Director General of Defense Gilbert Cooper reaffirmed Sierra Leone's commitment to the One China policy and commended China for its continued support to the country's security sector, economic development and military modernization. As China approaches the centenary of the People's Liberation Army in 2027, both countries pledged to further strengthen defense cooperation and their long-standing bilateral friendship. Emmanuel Samura, SLBC.
Well, it's now time for our segments. We bring you the international news update.
This is the international news with me, Esther Susanne Tibasi. Russia has attacked Ukraine with ballistic missiles and drones, killing at least 21 people, as Ukraine's President Zelensky said interceptors could have saved lives. Ukraine has consistently urged allies for more US-made Patriot missile interceptors to defend against Russian ballistics, has not reported intercepting any of the missiles in the overnight attack. The Russia Defense Ministry said it had struck logistics hubs and supply centers in Kyiv and the surrounding region. Russia has intensified attacks on Kyiv in recent weeks, while Ukraine has also increased its attacks on Russian civilian infrastructure, including power facilities. President Tinubu has approved a salary increase of between 30 and 80% for members of Nigeria's armed forces, a move expected to raise the federal government's annual military wage bill by 264 billion naira as the country continues to battle terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. The presidency said about 250,000 personnel would benefit from the salary review. The announcement comes as the Nigerian troops remain deployed in sustained counterinsurgency and internal security operations across the country, including the northeast, northwest, and north central, where they continue to confront Boko Haram, ISWAP, armed bandit groups, and kidnappers. The board of directors of the African Development Bank Group has approved a grant of $18.8 million to the government of Ghana for the implementation of the Regional West Africa Resilient Rice Value Chains project. The project aims to boost domestic rice production, strengthen food security, and create jobs across the agricultural value chain. Agriculture remains central to Ghana's economy, supporting livelihoods and contributing significantly to food security. The initiative will support the modernization of rice processing facilities, strengthen market linkages, and promote greater private sector. The project aligns with Ghana's national development priorities, including its agricultural transformation and food security agenda. And finally, the international news summary. Heavy fighting erupted on Wednesday on the eastern outskirts of Galkayo in central Somalia, with Puntland security forces battling fighters from the Puntland Security Force. The fighting triggered a wave of displacement, with many families abandoning their homes. The violence comes amid deepening political and security tensions between Somalia's federal government and Puntland, raising concerns that renewed fighting in Galkayo could further destabilize the strategically important city and worsen the humanitarian situation for civilians. Well, that's it for the international news summary from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television. I am Esther Susanne Tsibasi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.
From the international news desk, we move over to the entertainment desk for the latest in entertainment.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News with me, Salman Baba Toure. In this edition of Entertainment News, the Lake Group commences audition for Miss Freetown 2026 and NATCA celebrates 20th anniversary with music, comedy and poetic performance. Now, Miss Freetown is one of the biggest modeling and fashion platforms in Sierra Leone that nurtures and empower young models and pageant queens by helping them achieve their dreams and potentials. With the aim to campaign against drug abuse, this year's edition has begun with audition stage that saw 17 contestants out of 20 competed with adorable and admirable performances during the weekend at the Cabana Bar at Lovely. From its preliminary stage, the grand finale will see 15 contestants bless the runway on the 28th of November 2026 at Chapter 1. Before the show, the stars will be taken to a house where they will be trained for both national and international stages.
And the first for a lot. And the first for sports for ambassadorship. First for sports for being Miss Fleeton. And first for Boko money. We start price for this year na 100 millions. Oh, we dey watch for a lot. We dey watch us people way come out na a very good community, we carry themselves well, we educated. We dey watch for people with high intelligence, you forget good IQ.
Each contestant will be representing her community and they all appear prepared for the show.
Pageant is my first career and it's something that I'm so passionate about. So yeah.
If I find no more and I don't get like any impact in the community where I'm from and represents people that we get like visible difference like me, we go feel like they can do something and they can succeed. I not feel like I don't do much.
For being in this pageant is totally different. We're absolutely changing the trajectory and projecting this to something more bigger than myself. And that is to advocate on behalf of maternal and child mortality.
I am well prepared because coming to this stage shows how prepared I am. From the final stage, me making the decision that I want to go to Miss Freetown, me getting the form, filling it, and and then today I'm here for the audition. So I feel like I am well prepared enough.
My platform, Beyond the Silence, focuses on the sexual and reproductive health of a woman. And I want to create a meaningful impact, create awareness, use my voice, because young girls and women out there, they lack accurate information to say, or they're just shy to talk.
It's really going to be a battle of supremacy to see beautiful queens showcase their beauty, potential, and brain. Finally, Sierra Leone's National Communications Authority, NATCA, has celebrated its 20th anniversary, honoring and reflecting 2 decades of endless efforts to strengthen and improve the country's telecommunication industry. The event was spiced up with entertaining performances with poetry, comedy, and music. Among the entertainers were comedian, faculty, and Amanish Popline Piquet.
When done well, it's not a cage, it's a compass. And this compass has successfully guided this country for 20 years, so we don't pass.
A good performance and congratulations to NATCA. Well, that's all we have for this edition of Entertainment News. I've been your presenter, Stamamba Bature. Thanks for watching and keep watching the SOBC.
Well, from those beauty queens, we end Newshour for tonight. To end the news, the main points again. Statistics Sierra Leone has officially launched the 2026 Sierra Leone Demographic and Health Survey training held at the Theresa Sisse Hall on Kennedy Street in Freetown. marking the commencement of nationwide data collection exercise aimed at providing critical information to support national development planning and improve healthcare delivery. Partners or Feed Salon program have opened the 2026-27 homegrown school feeding year. 250,000 children across 5 districts will benefit from this program as part of government's flagship Feed Salon school feeding program. And the Independent Media Commission has delivered its first public broadcast ruling since its establishment, finding in breach of media regulations over the publication of unverified allegations against Dr. Sylvia Blyden. The ruling was among 7 decisions announced during a press conference organized by the Commission. Well, that's how we end Newshour for tonight. And keep watching the SBC. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamar. Good night.